Hello, friends.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday. And happy day 2 of our intermittent fasting. So we are super pumped to talk to you and really dive into the details of today. And so first of all, thank you guys so much for tuning in yesterday. My tooth is still intact. Nolan clearly tried to knock my face off, but I woke up and it's still there, so it's a win. Thank you so much for all your comments and your feedback. It made us feel like we were talking to ourselves because all of the comments, the late night snacking, the I'm bored and I eat, the I eat my kids' food,
we totally get it.
That is us. And that is why this has helped us so much, because even with what we've been doing and eating healthy and eating clean, you really need boundaries and structure in order to gain control, which is our ultimate goal with every area of life. But food is one of the most important, because if you're out of control in food, everything else tends to spiral pretty quickly. So just as humans, we thrive in structure and we thrive with boundaries. So this works for us, and it also works for your kids. I definitely started using, with my daughter, she has to close the kitchen because the girl, I'm starving.
At night.
I'm hungry. Okay. If anything is wrong, last night I told Caleb, I said, I think she's going to be an emotional eater because she got in trouble and had to sit in timeout, and I put her in timeout. I'm hungry.
Oh.
And I'm like, are you trying to eat your feelings? You're just like me. But with that, it really helps to have a kitchen open time and a kitchen closed time. And figuring out those boundaries and where you want to set it, we will definitely talk about as we dive in a little bit later. But just know, whatever triggers you have, whatever you feel like your emotional relationship or your issue or your struggle with food, it's a habit. And habits can be changed. I think sometimes we think we are hardwired to do a certain thing, or I've just always done this, or I could never give up Diet Coke, or I could never give up this, or I could never give up that. When you catch yourself saying, oh, I just could never do that, just know you are setting yourself up to fail with that, because it's just not true. You have a habit of doing something. You have a habit of late night snacking. You have a habit of rolling through Starbucks every day. And you can replace that habit with another behavior. So a lot of times we feel like we have to just cut something off. I'm going to stop eating this forever and ever, and then I'm going to be great. And it never happens. You say you're going to do it. Day 3, you binge eat or you binge drink or whatever. I mean, you just business as usual. But what really works is you have to replace one habit with something else. So for instance, if you're always a late night snacker, you replace that habit with a hot cup of tea. So you're not just going cold turkey, you're replacing a negative habit with a positive one. And I promise you, it freaking works. You just have to be smart about it and know that we're not like robots. You can't just cut something off that you've been doing every day for the last 10 years. You can't. But you can shift and you can change. You just have to be willing to. And we are going to dive into that. Let me just open up my notes.
So today what I want to talk to you about is specifically the 16-8 method. So yesterday we gave you, I think, 5 different methods of intermittent fasting. Through our research and through our own experience, we have found that the 16-hour window of fasting and the 8-hour window of when you can eat works best. Again, we specialize in working with women because we are women. We talked about sometimes people do a longer fast or they have a shorter eating window. For women specifically, because we are very hormonally driven, that 16-hour window is best. I would even venture to say 15 to 16. It could be just a little bit lower. But we're going to really focus on the 16 to 8. So you're probably wondering, well, why does it work? Maybe you want to know that. I'm not going to get too scientific on you because I love the research behind it. I'm just going to give you the Cliff's Notes version. So why does it work? It works because about that 7 to 8 hour window of fasting, your body makes the switch from using glycogen, which are carbohydrates, so those carbs. Instead of using that for fuel after you've been fasting for about that 7 to 8 hours, it switches over to using fat stores. And yes, please,
hallelujah,
utilize my fat stores for energy, right? So we start pulling in, that's when you kind of release that fat, and that's why it works. Now, I know right now there's a huge fad of ketogenic, and if you're not familiar with that, that's basically you are reducing the amount of carbohydrates that you're consuming to get your body in that ketosis state where you're utilizing fat for fuel. Now, does it work? Yes, people get great results. However, I always look at this and say, would I be able to keep it up for long term? And for me personally, I love carbs, right? Thanksgiving's coming up, the holidays. I'm still gonna wanna be able to eat mashed potatoes, Christmas cookies, all those fun things in moderation, of course, but to completely eliminate is just not going to work for me long term. You know, I'm not in the business of quick fixes. I'm here, both of us are here to teach you how to make this a lifestyle that will work for the long term, that not only will get you great results, but that will make you feel good as well. And so this is kind of taking the best of that, of the thought of utilizing fat for fuel. It kind of brings you there, but you don't have to eliminate carbs altogether, because carbs are not the devil. Like,
this is like maximizing your metabolism.
Right, maximizing your metabolism. So what you need to do, thinking about today, is setting your window, right? So you want to talk a little bit about setting your window?
Yeah, so when we say set your window, you have it, so you have 16 hours and then you have 8 hours. So you are going to set where you want to fit your 8-hour eating window. So outside of your 8-hour eating window, you are not consuming calories. You can have coffee, water, tea, but you don't want to have anything that's going to set your metabolism into go mode, so to speak, so that you want to be only liquids and you're drinking it. We actually do a teaspoon of coconut oil because you can have up to 50 calories outside of your eating window, and coconut oil is what, like 40
for a teaspoon. I know, Monica, you asked about coffee. Trust us, we did the research on that too.
Drinking it right now.
But if you have a little bit of creamer, again, if it's less than 50 calories, you're okay. We drink Energize, which is like a plant-based pre-workout. It gives you energy, so it's like better than a Red Bull because it's chemical free. And it also has less than 15. It only has 15. So we drink some of that in the morning as well. So just know you can absolutely have your morning coffee and still be okay. Still be in that fasting.
And it's really the chewing. You don't want to have, so yes, Brooke, you can have creamer just less than a tablespoon. I use that like all natural creamer when I do use it, and 1 tablespoon is like 35 calories.
Yeah, 30 to 35.
So you're perfect as long as it's under 50. So within your 8-hour window, that's when you're consuming all of your calories. And like we said yesterday, you are not restricting down on calories. You're not cutting out food groups. So what you would normally consume in, let's say, a normal probably 16-hour window, if you're not intermittent fasting, because we tend to eat right when we get up and we tend to eat all the way until we go to bed, the same amount of food is going to go in just in a shorter window of time. So Raquel loves to close the kitchen at 7 p.m., starts eating at 11 a.m. I like to do a little bit later. I generally don't start eating until 12:30ish, and then I normally go till about 8 or 8:30, depending on my day. And I shift it according to what's going on. So like last night, I was at the in-laws, we ate dinner later, and so I was eating until like 8:30. So today I'll just shift and not have my first meal till about 12:30, because it's very flexible. You can move it around. The most important thing is that you want that fast period to be at least 12 to 16 hours.
Yeah.
So you can kind of adjust accordingly if you need to, as long as within your eating window, you're getting in everything that you need to eat. So we're going to ask you to think about when your perfect eating window would be, and it doesn't have to be the same every day. And we're going to have you kind of start stair-stepping. We're not going to say go from 0 to 7 days a week fasting, because that's hard. It's a hard mental shift, and you have to figure out, okay, what if I have to have breakfast this day with my kids' school? Or what if I have a late dinner party that I need to go to? Is it going to mess up my window? The short answer is don't worry. And if one day you don't fast at all, that's okay. You jump back on the wagon. We were just in Vegas for 4 days. We didn't fast at all because we were up early, we were up late.
Time zones.
And that's okay. Your body will just jump right back into it as you get home. So don't stress about life. You can absolutely jump on the wagon and off the wagon with this program and still see success. Like she was talking about with the keto or other popular weird fads that you see, you can't jump in and out of those phases. If you are living a keto lifestyle and you go and have burgers and beer, your body is going to be wrecked.
Revolt.
It's going to be terrible. You can't hop in and out. And so that's why you want to choose something that allows you to have some flexibility, and it allows you to go in and out of your normal life, so to speak. So choosing an 8-hour window that works for you. If you're somebody who's up late, move it later. Go from 2 to 10. That's fine. If you're somebody who prefers to get up in the morning and eat at 9 o'clock, cool. Go from 9 a.m. and then whatever 8 hours later, 5.
Oh my God, don't make me do math.
I know, 5 p.m. So you can choose any 8 hours. There is no magic window. Just make sure that you have a very strict open and close time with your kitchen.
Okay. So I've gone through a lot of how it works, but I also want to make sure that you are very well aware, because we do people that just say, okay, I'm going to do intermittent fasting, right? And they don't really change their eating habits at all. And we just want to be very clear and very open that what you are consuming in that window matters.
Yes, that's important.
Right? Intermittent fasting isn't going to give you the best results possible if you're eating like junk. Like straight up. This isn't I can eat cheeseburgers, pizza, candy, Coke all day long. As long as it's in the 8-hour window, I'm clear, right? If only. Right?
Common misconception.
Common misconception that we see a lot. What you are fueling your body with matters. And that's kind of, there's a very scientific approach to why this works, but the body is a machine. And if you think, if I am a Ferrari, I gotta be fueling it with the best fuel possible. I'm not gonna be fueling it with junk and expect it to run like a badass sports car that it's meant to be, right? It just won't work. So that is super, super key. So most of us, I will tell you, I saw a lot yesterday, you would say, I'm doing it, or I'm addicted to sugar, or what else do we see? I eat out of boredom, or I have cravings. And I will tell you right there, most of us, that's a sign that you are nutrient deficient. And I say that with love because we've all been there, right? So signs to know if you are nutrient deficient and not fueling your body properly, you are gonna have low energy, right? A lot of times we wake up tired, we go to bed exhausted as women, it just is what it is. However, if you're hitting that midday slump and you're like, oh my God, we either fuel it with coffee or sugar. A lot of times sugar is that quick pick-me-up, but it's also a crash, right? If you feel irritable and you quickly snap at people, that's also a sign. It's crazy how when we're nutrient deficient, it spills over into every aspect of our life. Another great indicator is your hair and your skin, right? Like we said, we were in Vegas. We were kind of off of our normal eating routine. We tried to do the best we could at eating, but I'll tell you, I feel and I see a noticeable difference in myself because it was kind of, I wasn't fueling myself properly. I wasn't getting all the nutrients, all the vegetables.
Vegas doesn't sell water.
Right. We were basically in a state of hydration, right? But if you are feeling those things, that's a surefire way that you're probably nutrient deficient. So you want to make sure that in that 8-hour window, you are still getting all of those good things that you need, right? We want to make sure you're getting the right amount of protein and vegetables and fruit and good carbs that we talk about and that we teach you in our groups of how to really make sure that you're making good food choices, but also that tastes good.
Yes.
I'm not here to tell you you're going to eat steamed broccoli and grilled chicken every day and get great results. Could you? Yes, but no thank you.
That's boring, and your kids won't eat it.
And your kids won't eat it, and your husband will hate it too. So we teach you in our groups, we give you meal plans that taste so good, that are family approved. The best thing I hear from our participants is that, oh my God, like this food is so good.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like it's so good. You can still eat great food that are healthy, but give your body the fuel it needs to perform at its best.
Yes, so let's talk a little bit more about your cravings. So we also do something called Shakeology. Some of you are clients that are in this group and you know how much it helps. So we've been using Shakeology for almost 3 years and we've been in the fitness world for over a decade. This stuff works because it's not a quick fix. It's not a pill. It's not some weird thing. It's an actual nutrition-based, clean, plant-based, protein-infused magic juice. You drink it every single day. And it has everything that you need, your vitamins, your minerals. It gives you everything that you need as if you were taking a multivitamin that had protein that was also all natural, all in one. And you drink it every single day and it makes you feel alive. It just helps pull everything together. It fills in the gaps. We're gonna teach you how to eat the right portions. We're gonna teach you how to eat what you need to be eating. But everything that is made today is just not the same quality. And as females, you're never gonna eat a high enough calorie consumption to get in the nutrients that you're missing. So this fills in those gaps and gives you the good hair, the good skin, the good mood, the good energy. And I know it sounds hocus pocus, but I'm telling you, it's a game changer. And when I don't have it, our first day in Vegas, it's a conference that's for this company. So we thought they were gonna like have it for us and they did it. And I was like, I'm dying, which sounds terrible,
but so true.
But your body knows when it's not getting the right nutrients. So just know that's part of our meal plan and it's something that we're super, super passionate about as well. And you will notice a huge difference. So that's a big piece of your portion that we're gonna talk about. The other part of your 8 hours is even if you're eating healthy, we struggled with this for a long time and we finally figured out, even when you're eating healthy, I'm gonna have a whole avocado and I'm gonna wash it down with a cup of peanut butter and then I'm gonna have some eggs and then I'm gonna have this. You're eating all the healthy things, but if you're not in the right portion for what your body needs, you're still not gonna have success because too much fat is still too much fat. It doesn't matter if it's good fat or bad fat. Too much protein will be processed as fat because your body can only handle so much protein in a given day. I don't know how often I hear people just downing protein after protein after protein, thinking it's going to get them lean, but your body can only take so much, and especially for women, like we just can't handle that much. Carbohydrates, yes, carbs are your friend. It is okay to have carbs. I see one of two things. Either we only eat carbs and we only eat starchy carbs, and it's like pizza and toast and pretzels all the live long day, or you have no carbs because you're scared of them and you think that they're the enemy. So you've got to find that right balance, and it feels so good to eat spaghetti and pasta and be like, I'm fueling myself the way I'm supposed to. There's this like buffalo chicken mac that is like my jam, and it tastes so good. Like it should make me fat. But it doesn't. I love eating stuff like that because, and we got on our recipes this week, we have lasagna. There's these like lasagna roll-ups. They're so freaking good. Pasta is okay. And that's a concept that I think is, we sometimes think, I should feel bad I'm eating pasta. You are okay eating those things.
You don't have to eat like a rabbit to get results. Promise.
You just have to be in the right
balance and the right portions. And that's really what we help you set up, is to figure it out. Because honestly, that's really confusing. We were confused for so long. We have our master's degree in exercise science, and we were confused for so long. So our job really is to simplify the nutrition, because nutrition makes up 80% of your results. It truly does. And when you pair it with intermittent fasting, you will literally blow yourself away of what's possible. Like I said, it's a great way to break through plateaus. It's a great way to jumpstart. It's a great way. We're going to really talk about it in our group for Thanksgiving, right? Can you imagine? You can enjoy yourself on Thanksgiving. I'm not about to say no to my grandpa's mashed potatoes. It is happening, and I will also eat pie. But I also know I'm not going to eat all day long. I got my 8-hour window. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to savor it, and then I'm going to move on. And I will still feel good in my skin when I wake up the next day, and I will still get all the results that I want. And that's what we really want to teach you.
That's something that I think we haven't touched on really, but the difference you feel when you wake up in the morning, you just, I don't know, I want to say tighter, toner. Leaner. I know it's weird. But when your body has had a 16-hour window of not having to work so hard to process digest food, it's amazing how good you feel, because your body has like had a break. And your body actually needs that break. We're just so conditioned to constantly eat. And believe me, your girl loves to eat. Like, I can't wait for my 8-hour window, because I'm like, yes.
Like, is it time? No, it's not 11 yet.
So your body loves that rest. Now, within your 8-hour window, we've talked, what should you be eating? We'll give you specifics. What portion, you'll know. Like, literally, the meal plans are like, here's what to eat, here's when to eat it, here's how much to eat. It's so foolproof, so that's really nice. Now then, do you have to eat it all at once? Do you have to eat every hour, every 2 hours? We used to think your body is a furnace. You have to fuel, eat as soon as you wake up, and then like every 2 hours after that, we would be eating. That can sometimes be stressful for people, because I've always had clients tell me they hate breakfast, or tell me that they have busy jobs, they're teachers, they're nurses, they can't just eat all the live long day. So this works great, because you can do it however you want. I am somebody who loves to feel full, and I love to eat. So when I start my window, I have a really big meal when I first start. I have my Shakeology, and then I normally have eggs and bacon and toast with it. That's like a normal first meal for me, is to have all of that together. So that's a lot all at once. And then I'll have 2 other meals like that. So I like to do 3 big meals within an 8-hour window.
And I'm different. I'm the opposite. I like to eat like small things, but like throughout my 8 hours. For some reason, that just works for me. I like the idea of like I get to eat a lot of food, and I get to spread it out. So again, completely different methods, and they still work for both.
Yes.
I did have a question yesterday about a gastric sleeve. I was actually, when I graduated college, I worked at a bariatric clinic with people that went through lap band gastric sleeves. So I'm very well versed in that. I will tell you, you would probably have to eat in those shorter, smaller meals, shorter time periods. Because your stomach has been reduced in size, you would want to eat those smaller meals just more. You're probably going to be eating more throughout that 8-hour window. And if y'all have questions, this is what this training is for. Yes. We want to give you as much knowledge as possible, so don't hesitate to ask us questions, because we want to give you the answers, because we know there's a lot of information out there. It's confusing, and it's not always correct. So we want to make sure that you're getting the best information. So
and even if you're not on live, we always come back through and check the comments, comment on them later. So even if you're watching it later, post your questions, post your concepts, whatever you want to know, and we will come back through. And we'll also address it in tomorrow's video, anything that's like left and lingering. So you will choose your 8-hour window today. So we want you to comment below and say, this is my 8-hour window. Now again, don't just run out and start doing this tomorrow.
We're going to teach you. We're going to teach you how to incorporate it, because again, you can't just go from 0 to 100. There's a way to do it properly so you don't mess up your metabolism, your hormones don't go like, what the heck is happening? We're going to really teach you how to incorporate it more tomorrow.
We don't want to hear from your husband saying she's crazy.
She's hangry.
We don't want to hear that. So tell us below what your 8-hour window is, thoughts on doing keto, drink by Prove It while fasting. I am all about all natural, and I'm all about making sure that what I'm doing supplement-wise is super, super clean.
And I always ask myself, this is always a good rule of thumb, we're both moms. And I always say, would I give this to my kids, yes or no? Yeah. And that's such a good, it's just a good litmus test for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not super familiar with that, but I would just maybe think about that, because that's what we do as mamas.
And if you want us to look at the ingredients, let us know. We're happy to do that. Erin's going with 11 to 7.
Me too. That's my time.
Good. Okay, good. We'll be so ready. So yes, we're super pumped to start this with you guys. We will be starting actually for you to incorporate it on Monday, which is awesome. And we'll teach you how to do it. We'll roll through it. So starting next Monday, that will be the first day that we ask you to start your fast. Again, we're going to teach you how to do it. It's going to be a slow step-in process, and we're not going to start with your full 16 hours where we may go all crazy town. So that's not good either. So we are super pumped. We'll see you tomorrow. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Comment below, let us know your window, any questions you have, why you're excited, what you feel like this could do for you. It has really been a game changer for us. Absolutely. And it's just really helped my mental game.
Same.
Which I know sounds so cheesy, but that's what I care about. All right, see you guys tomorrow.
Bye, y'all.